actually auditioned to dance for him, to be his choreographer. Met him through LisaRaye. LisaRaye is my girl. Came on the last day of auditions. And I'm like, Lisa, I don't know. Because my friend Larry Sims, celebrity stylist, hairstylist, he's like, come down. R.Kelly's having auditions. I'm like, I don't know about that. I'm what you call a bunhead, ballerina, love to dance. I was like, I'm a theater girl. I'm not doing R&B. I'm not coming down there. He was like, girl, if you don't come down here. When Lisa saw me crazy, walked in, and she was like, first thing LisaRaye said to me, turn around, let me see your booty. I was like, wait, what? She was like, just turn around, let me see your booty. I was like, okay. She was like, ooh, Rob gonna love you. And she gave me a number, and I went in audition, and we were
Really?
inseparable from that day.
Wow. So
Yep.
you built a great relationship with LisaRaye.
Oh yeah, that's my
Okay.
love. That's my heart right there. And
Wow.
she goes to bat for and she's from the south side of Chicago too. Lisa Ray
Understood.
will let you know, don't let this pretty face fool you. I will rip your forehead meat back to the skull. Don't play with me. She is no joke.
Yeah. Wow. So upon meeting, how was that? Like, what was the build up to obviously getting married? What was the romance like on your way to the altar?
He chased me for a long time. I was like, ain't no way. I ain't gonna never, ever, 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 never, 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 ever, 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 never, ever, never, ever date you.
Why? Because that's a strong statement going in. What did you see or what did you observe?
Just, he wasn't the first time that I was introduced to celebrity world. So let's get that straight for all y'all hating ones out there. My mom did marketing and promotion. She worked for GCI. She worked for Sony. She worked for RCA Records. So I was one of them venue brats that they call us. Like my mama go
You've
back to
seen
Hammer,
everything.
Lakeside, like the Isley Brothers. We running around backstage.
Isleys.
Yeah, so that wasn't new for me. So because I was familiar with that lifestyle, I was like, no, I'm good. I'm good. I know about the traveling groupies, the ones like the super fans, and just your level of commitment. I went into it knowing I will always be your mistress because your music will always be your wife. So I was like, yeah, I don't want that. I'm good.
Wow.
Yeah.
How long did y'all date before you actually got married?
Oh, I see. He tasted me for 2 years, probably 1 year. 1 year.
Okay.
That I was like, all right, because honestly, we started out like sister and brother. It was more like we would crack jokes, we would travel together. I'm doing choreography while he's working on the album. He's working on Michael Jackson stuff. I'm doing choreography. So we had a great work relationship. So actually, it was me, his cousin Blackie, his brother Bruce. We was like the three musketeers. So in my mind, and at this time, people don't know this too. It's going to be in my book. I was engaged to be married when I met him to somebody else. So I was like, I'm not thinking about you. And another thing that people don't realize, I met him when I was 19 years old. I was married at 22. Should have never been married. What at 19 you don't need to be with a 26-year-old man, period. And we're going to leave it at that.
So that being said, and understanding he was in pursuit of you, what was your former fiance? What was he like? Was he just like,
Complete opposite.
I knew this guy was gonna get, I knew this was gonna happen.
Well, eventually, yeah, we had that conversation because he's like, you with him all the time, you travel all the time, you ain't never here.
Yeah.
He call you all times of the morning. But in my
Oh,
mind,
wow.
because I'm like, we're preparing for tour, because people don't know also, I'm into fashion design, so I was doing our wardrobe and doing choreography, doing his wardrobe and choreography. So you're working with the sound man, working with the lighting man, working with the band. It is a long process before you get to tour. So I feel like he also, that was his end. Like
And he knew
I'm
it.
play the big brother role and kind of lead you through this business.
Hold on, big brother, you
and
calling too
protect you.
early.
Too early,
Or
too
too
late,
late?
on time. It was a lot. It was a
Wow.
lot. Yeah, yeah.
Wow. So, I mean, Drea, and I appreciate you just being open, right? Do you think that, did you know at a point that, yeah, this is shifting, even with your fiance? Did you realize it was definitely going in a different direction?
Yeah.
And he knew at the same time, your fiance, he felt it too.
Well, actually, it wasn't me. I came home from tour with a baby laying on the bed, and I was like, now I know your grandmama ain't bit more head. Listen, that is not Sarah's baby. What are we doing? I was like, I'm good. I'm one time. I was like, oh, that's what you've been doing while I'm on tour. Y'all be a happy family. Go ahead, live out your dream.
Okay. So
Yeah.
at that point, you were like, yeah, it's
Oh
time.
yeah, I was good. I was good. Like, oh,
Wow.
okay. Good luck with that.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so, I guess Robert, he was like, okay, now it's my time.
Because in my mind, thinking,
Yeah.
run to Big Brother. I can't
Oh, he like, I got a
really-
song for this.
Oh, he was like, come on, go to Europe with me. I'm like, "But I got a bag. I got nothing bag. He was like, you don't need nothing. We'll get it when we get there. And literally, I had my little bag and a passport. And literally everything I needed, he bought when I got there.
So this happens. When did you start to see, for lack of a better term, the other side of him?
I think it was always there. But when you are the employee of somebody, I just saw it as at that time it wasn't controlling abusive behavior. I was like, he runs a tight ship. Like people knew on tour back in the day when we would he cleared the hallways. Nobody was allowed to be in the hallways when we were walking from dressing room to stage. We were not allowed to speak to the other people and be in other people's camps. Like it was crazy. It was almost like a dictator, but again, I just work for the man. So I'm like, well, if this is how he run his ship, I am not sacrificing my check because y'all want to talk. I'm going to that stage performing and getting on the bus. End of discussion. So I did not see that controlling part. I just thought, okay, and the way it was presented is because of safety, it's people out there. I'm responsible for y'all when we on the road. So it made complete sense. But that when you're dealing with a manipulator and a narcissist and you figure out what that is, you're like, oh, that was getting me in the web the whole time. Because then I feel like you're my protector. I feel like you have my best interest at heart. I feel like you're always going to watch out for me when in actuality you're controlling to know what I'm doing.
A lot of people, a lot of women now use the term narcissist. I think sometimes it might be overused.
Yeah.
But you coming from a very real situation that eventually manifested itself into what many people saw in the documentary, right? So you have this honeymoon period, I'm assuming, in terms of dating before you get married. So you said it was a year. So
Yeah.
was it a whirlwind year where he's just sweeping you off your feet? And let me ask you this. How long after him and Aaliyah were you all together?
Yeah, okay, so here's the thing that people don't understand too, and I'm not gonna give too much because it's in my book. You have to understand, I was dancing for him in a world where there was no social media. So you have your world over there. I'm an employee. I'm just dancing for this man. And like people really attack me. You knew you was married to him. I was not. Y'all need to do your history. I'm just an employee. I go home to my fiance. I don't know this man's private life. And I'm not going to risk my job asking about your private life. Just like you're not going to walk into the CEO of AT&T or BP and be like, so boss, who you dating? What's going on? I know you got a wife. Are you cheating? Absolutely not. You like, that ain't none of my business. Move on. So a lot of stuff when it came to surface, again, years later, that was stuff that I'm learning as the world is learning and everybody looking around like, wait, where was I? What was going on? But I'm okay with it. It took me a long time to just accept that people speak ignorantly without doing their research, without going back looking at dates and going, well, if you do look at 1995, 1996, there wasn't social media. That was a time where you had teams and lawyers and PR, and that was their job to suppress, cover, make sure it doesn't get out. And again, not to throw anybody under the bus, when friends and family of the opposite side are still around, there's nothing to be curious or raise an eyebrow because you're like, well, they cool. Barry's okay.
Meaning
On about my
Aaliyah's
business.
family.
Yeah,
They
it's
were
like-
still.
So, but again, people, I don't think that they even care to think and dig deep enough to go, that makes complete sense. They want to point the finger at somebody because they feel like at the end of the day, I took down one of their icons.